trying to find the website.
You should be the first person to know, bro.
Just leave.
Hold on. No,
Uh,
hold on.
yeah.
That's See,
A while ago. Me not in.
you know,
That's a good unbelievable. Oh, fuck, he doesn't. Oh, you know, so if it's not it's good problem. We were about it must be is there should be on using picking up on that. Pretty safe. You ever watch?
Were you using your Wi-Fi or mobile?
You go.
There's a free Wi-Fi, so it depends if you want to connect to it or not. Where it says CCC guest, CCC Charles Strong guest.
All right.
hello?
What? You said what? We said.
And how are you?
You have to sign up to your email address. Okay.
How long are you? Would you say 5 minutes?
I need this complicated way of
Would you say 5 minutes? Would you say 5 minutes? I know. I'm comfortable here. It's warm. It's what I want. Like 5, 6 minutes. Like. I like this. Wait. The song is Carol, Ella, and Cindy.
Ella and Cindy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Where's the slow? That's my advantage.
Is the Wi-Fi signal?
Not sure. Mine is just blocked and I'm blocked back in. But now that you're on the Wi-Fi, it looks so much better.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll find the direction.
So it's in my
Yeah. It's just adjustment. I think you guys should come to some. Oh. For the also come with us.
I'm good.
Somebody else come. Symbol and.
No. One
Okay.
parent.
I think that's what I said instead of.
Just one second.
You got to look
Me, doing the door. Yeah. But you found that for. Yes, you can leave.
Yeah. Users. I don't know if you see.
We're good.
All right, so we're starting. Thank you all guys for coming. So this session is actually directed at the youth. What should look at expanding the pathway for youth academic and career. It's going to be an interactive session. So feel free to ask questions. I'm sure a lot of them may have questions about what path is when it comes to your academic life, and definitely you get to career. It's good to start early, have the understanding now, so that by the time you start making decisions to what you want. I'm not going to talk too much. I'll hand over to also the pastor and then you also so with an applause that's all. What's the name? Yeah. No, but the last year. All right. Okay, guys. Yeah. Let me just start. We're obviously gonna they will just have coming. It's obviously learned straight in but I just want to check how many of you at the moment have any kind of job, whether it was with the job, you've done some apprenticeship or anything you work before? 1, 2, 3, nobody else? You haven't? Okay. How many of you are these 16? Okay. At least you're the how are you? How are you? 15, 14, 15, how are you? 30.
All right, so I wanted to check because your journey up to the build start off when you doesn't start after you uni, it doesn't start after on uni. Your journey actually gonna start right now. And these sessions, these skills sessions are meant to kind of develop you and bring you to consciousness now. So what you're right now, you need some cash and you're in McDonald's. Okay, that is a job. That's not your career. So you gotta know the difference between the two. We're talking about preparing you not for a job, preparing you for your career. There are a lot of people who are working, people who are adults who do not have a career, they've got jobs. We want to make sure you are prepared, informed, and ready to essentially go in and build a career for yourself. Are we together on that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice one. So let's give a round of applause and welcome Mrs. Christopher. Yeah. All right.
Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon. I will be presenting on skills development and I'll make it as interactive as possible. Okay. So one thing I need from you guys is stop me whenever you feel like you have a question so that you don't forget them at the end. Yeah. So I'm just going to start by introducing myself. Give a bit about me, tell you about my story, how I got to where I am at the moment, the steps I took, and give you some tips basically on how you can, basically develop yourself as well. But just before we get into that, I'll be sharing this around. So it's just a piece of paper. I want you to write what you would like to become or what kind of job you would like to get into and why you would like to get into that. And at the end of it, we basically would have a look into it to see why you want that and basically what you would potentially want to change with that. Okay, so just grab a piece of paper, we have pens going around, write what you want to become and why you want to become that. Okay, everyone has a paper now? Yeah? Okay. You don't have to write it. Yeah, just write it now. Just write it now so that after we go through the presentation, we see if it's the same thing or if anything has changed.
So it's like what we're gonna become after university.
Yeah, so what you would want to become after university when you graduate, and why you want to, so why you pick that career in particular. Yeah. Okay, I hope everyone can see the screen. Yeah, for those of you that are just coming in, we're passing around a piece of paper. I want you to write what you would like to become and why you want to become that particular thing, why you want that particular career. Okay. So first things first, just a little bit about me. The full name is Musa Christopher, and basically this is my LinkedIn profile. In case you want to follow me on LinkedIn, get to know a bit more about me, feel free to go on LinkedIn. My hobbies: I enjoy playing football, I enjoy cooking, I play a lot of video games, and I enjoy learning new things, getting into new ideas, and just putting my hands into something and getting a bit of more knowledge. So now going into my education, I actually schooled back in Nigeria for my high school. And then after that, I came to the UK for my first degree. I studied in the University of Hertfordshire. I did my undergrad there in electronics and computer engineering. After that, that was 2017 to 2021. After that, I moved to Birmingham, so University of Birmingham, for those of you that know that university, and I did my master's there in electronics and computer engineering. And work experience. Okay, so in terms of work experience now, I started back in 2017. This was just when I came in. It wasn't, just like Kofi explained earlier, it wasn't my end goal, but at least it was something to kick off and start off with, because obviously you need to build yourself, right? The idea is to start building yourself in terms of having a CV, in terms of being able to put in something on their skills, learning how to interact with people. So started working in KFC, worked in KFC for about 6 months, I believe. So this was normally during summer, whenever I'm off school, take a couple, 3-6 months, just get my hands around something, learn something new. After that, I went back to Nigeria again. So this was during summer, and I worked in NNPC, Nigerian National Petroleum Company. I was there for 3 months, so I did like an internship. When I came back the next year, so this was still while I was studying, bear in mind, I then got a job in Where It's Free. So it was an IT company where basically we did setup for computers and all IT devices. That was in 2019. After that, I got into a brand ambassadorship for Microsoft. So most of you know about Microsoft. And then after that, I went to Intel, and now I'm with Amazon. So I worked as an area manager in Amazon VHX4. Okay, so the next slide basically will be giving us importance of why we basically need this academic career progression, right? Because it's good, it's one thing for you to know about it, and it's another thing for you to know why it's important, right? What does it add to you? What do you gain from it as a person? I think that's a lot better. Can everyone see this? Yeah. Okay. So basically, why do you need to, get into developing yourself from the early stages? Why is it important? What do we gain from this, right? So first things first on my list is improved communication. So a lot of the times you see people coming up and they're saying, oh, I'm scared of speaking in public, or I'm scared of, having a conversation with people that are new. I'm just meeting. I just prefer to be in my comfort zone. But then you have to start breaking distance. You have to start working towards, becoming a better person. And how do you start that? By getting a very little job, right? For example, you work in McDonald's, you work in KFC, you have to engage with customers, you have to engage with your manager, you have to engage with other colleagues working there. That starts building up your communication. It's very important. It can be as little as that, but you're getting a lot from it. Another thing is it begins to develop you. So in terms of problem solving and critical thinking. So let's say you're in a situation where your manager is not at the store and a customer comes in and they're complaining about a meal. You start to think, okay, what can I do to make this customer happy? How can I go about this? Right. So at those stages, they're like very basic tasks, but then actually they're building you up into where you would end up at. And then things like this can always be added on your CV, right? Because problem solving is a big skill. Remaining calm under pressure is a very important skill. Communication, very, very important skill. So they start very, very little, but then again, you're building up on it. Another thing is you get high opportunities for advancement. So of course, if you see my qualification and I come to, for example, Java tomorrow to apply, they most definitely wouldn't say no, right? Because they've seen that, you know what, he's been with Amazon, he's been with Microsoft, he has Intel experience, why not? So all these things, building them up on your CV, having it there, starting from the very low stages helps you a lot, because when you then apply for the big companies, there's something that you've already worked towards. It builds your confidence and self-esteem, very, very important. You need to build yourself. It all begins from you, right? So you want to get something done, your friends are pushing, your family are pushing, but the end goal or the start goal is actually with you. So you have to kick off. If you haven't, please take a piece of paper and just write what you want to become and why you want to become that. Yeah, we'll review that at the end. The next thing I'm going to be speaking about is basically the factors that are currently affecting progression. But just before I go into that, do we have any suggestions on what factors we think might be affecting us from progressing? Any comments would be appreciated. So what do you think is currently affecting you from getting to where you want to get to? Anyone? It could be something very easy. It could be, oh, you don't think you have the skills yet. You don't think you have the right guide. You don't think you know how to start, right? So there are a lot of reasons why people are actually not proceeding or not progressing in their careers. So now the first on my list is poor planning. So planning is very, very key, right? Planning is very, very important. Having a backup even when you plan is very important. So now some of us want to become engineers, some of us want to become doctors, lawyers, some of us want to become actors. You know, there's a lot of options out there. But then what's your plan towards that? How do you want to achieve that? Do you have a guide? Do you plan on going to cooking school? Do you plan on going to acting school? Do you want to start as in an apprenticeship kind of format? So you need to put those things down, right? So you're working your mindset. You have to have a positive mindset. If you don't have a positive mindset, completely zero. You need to start again. So you're looking at yourself, okay, I need to plan this down. So in 4 years, I'd like to complete my university. And after that, I'd like to go for an internship. And then you're planning these things, you're putting them down. Okay, what happens if I spend another extra year in university? Okay, during that year, I'll start working. Or what happens while I'm at university during my summer, instead of, you know, just hanging out with friends or traveling, I might as well do two, even if it's 2 months, it's 3 months, right? For a job. It's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. Quality of education. I think that's also a big factor on career progression. So you need to be sure that you're going for the top unis. You just don't want to go for a uni because it's a uni. Oh yeah, I went to uni. It's not the point, right? You want to go for unis that are in top 20, they're in top 10. They are known for this particular course. If I say I'm from University of Birmingham, everyone's like, wow, you did masters there? I'm like, yeah. That's because it's known for a top uni, right? They already have a standard. And if you don't push for that, then you're just setting yourself, okay, I'm just going to go to any uni and study. I'm not saying anything is wrong in social science, but for example, just study social science and yeah, you just have a degree. So actually push for something that you're interested in. Push for the best. Don't just settle for whatever you have or whatever is available, right? You don't just want to go for a uni because you want to go for that uni. Learning environment. So again, your environment matters, the kind of people you have around you, the kind of friends you're keeping, the kind of mindset, again, you're building. Support systems. So most of the time, we're not aware of support systems that can actually help us out. So it's a key to actually make research in that. Study habits. So there's something I do. I work 4 days a week, sometimes 3 days a week. But that is at work. Outside of work, I still work. right? So it's like a habit I've formed for myself, just like how I play football every Saturdays. I spend an extra 5 hours during the week just building on something. I just want to learn something. If a day goes by and I don't learn anything, I feel like there's something wrong with me, right? You can go on, there's a lot of resources available. When I started, I honestly didn't know most of these resources, but now I think I'll say you guys have it more available. So that study habit needs to be there. Time management, very, very important, very, very important. I know a lot of people that have lost their jobs, lost going on whatever it is that they planned up because of time management. Lack of experience, another very big one. I'll be honest with you, from all the jobs you've seen, all of them, starting from the very first one, I never applied for any. It was all referrals. It was all because I know this person and I talked with this person, and they're like, okay, send me your CV. And then I send it and there's a referral. That's how I got the job. It's literally all about who you're networking with and how you're coming across and presenting yourself. So lack of experience is there, yes. However, there's ways to go around it. Right? If you don't start something, you always lack experience. And that's why when you're done with uni, you'll be like, you don't have any experience. But then during uni, you could have had a lot of experiences. Meeting your professor, telling him to put you on a project, that's an experience. It's just how you sell it out. So you can do a very big project. Myself and Profi were talking earlier about a laptop that Microsoft did. So they did a laptop that it's supposed to be probably the best laptop, but they didn't sell it, but they didn't market it right. Whereas Apple will make a common laptop and the way they market it, everyone wants it, right? So the way you market yourself has a lot of impact on you, right? You can say you work in KFC, but then when you come on your CV, you put customer service experience, teamwork, and another person will just put KFC, served chicken, fried chips, So again, how you put it matters a lot. Then there's a lot of competition, of course. A lot of people are trying to get into IT now because that's what's paying more. So you might want to, review into what the options are available. So the competition is there. Let it not be a problem for you, but more of a challenge. And then you want to work towards that. Then changing industries. Today, everyone wants IT engineers. Tomorrow, everyone wants doctors. So you just need to make sure you have the right results before going into that. So these are a few factors that are affecting basically career progression. Next thing we're going to be looking at is the key things to look out for at the early stages. So I know most of us, or some of us, are not probably even in uni yet, still in college. So these are our early stages, right? So this is the time you need to start picking up and making decisions or looking into getting something done. So we have apprenticeships. Apprenticeships is, I would say it's a cheat format because you wouldn't need to do all the struggle. But if you're in the right part of apprenticeship, then you would excel a lot easier than people that even went through a whole degree. So I don't really know a lot about apprenticeships, but you can make a lot of research on that. In terms of, I think, healthcare, if you actually go through an apprenticeship course, you could be earning £28 per hour as a starting. And then when you get to I think a level 4, level 5, you get £60 per hour. And this is without a degree. So there's different formats on how you can go about it, right? Again, the idea is not for you to, I'd say, rush. I'd say there's time for everything, right? You want to get there, but then it's best you follow the right routes, right? I noticed, social media out there, there's a lot of influence on, my mate or my friend or my colleague is doing this or he's made this. But then again, are you still going towards your goal? Are you still pushing? Have you stopped? Right? Next on the list is your passion and your interest. So that is also, something you need to look into before getting into your career. So what passion do you have? Do you like cooking? I love cooking. Left to me, I'll quit my job and be a chef. Yeah, but then have I planned that? Is it going to benefit me? Would it pay me right now? Or should I save some money for now and then later on quit and open my own kitchen? right? Or I love playing football. Okay, love playing football. How old are you now? You're already 24, you're already 27. That means there's a likely possibility that you wouldn't get it. So instead of that, what else can I, get into and just play football on the side, right? Your skills and your strengths, what are you good at? Some people here are very good at speaking to other people. Some people are good at leading. Some people are good at maths. You like numbers. Anytime you see numbers, you've already done like a couple calculations. So these are your strengths. They are very little things. You can ask your friends, what do you think are my strengths? What do I need to improve? Networking opportunities, very, very important. Like I said, all my jobs, all referrals. From the first one, KFC, my friend was working there. She spoke to our manager. Our manager asked me to come in. I came in, started the job next week. The next one was after KFC was what was there on the list? Let's go back and then have a look at this. NMPC. NMPC, I had one of my dad's colleagues that was working there, sent her a cover letter, wrote it down, and then I'm in. Why it's free? I think this was the only job I actually applied for, and this was through a university event, which was still kind of like connections. Met somebody, shared them my CV, they got back to me, and I got the job. Microsoft was a phone call. So one of my friends was working there. He spoke to his manager, and he was like, he had a friend that is into tech, and he would love to be a part of this. And she called me, and the next thing she was asking me was, what's the size of my shirt? And I was like, sorry, I was expecting an interview, right? Like a proper interview of what this and that and that. But then she just asked me what's the size of my shirt and what have I studied, what am I interested in? I just told her that, and then that's it. Intel, that was after Microsoft. So Microsoft kind of like referred me into Intel. Amazon was basically from church. I was at church. I met this lady, she was working in Amazon, and then she done a referral and I got Amazon. So again, it's just all about how you set yourself and who you basically are networking with. Yes, go ahead.
So your job is Amazon, yeah? You IT in there, what do you do in there?
So I work as a manager. So as a people manager, shift manager, process manager. So I basically run a shift, different departments, different number of people, basically delivering to customers, making sure that whoever comes into the FC leaves the FC on time.
So you used to earn more in Microsoft and Intel, or
No, so Microsoft was more like a 6 months contract, and it was a brand ambassador based. So it wasn't as much as Amazon is paying at the moment. Yeah, so Amazon is still paying a lot higher than most of them. Any other questions? Location is important as well. So at a point just after I graduated, before I started my master's, I was like so desperate to get a job. And then this company they live like all the way outside of where everyone is. They deal with radioactive frequencies, and they were ready to offer me a job. So now, most of the time when you're by yourself, not dealing with family, you're able to relocate anywhere. And it might be good for you, might not be good for you. So you need to weigh the options. Sometimes it's best you move to Scotland, go and get 3 months, 6 months kind of like experience, and then come back. There's nothing wrong with that. Wherever you have to go to get that, you can always do that. So if you're ready to relocate, most of the time, whenever you're on an interview, they'll ask you, are you ready to relocate? Are you happy to move? Do you drive? Things like that, right? So you want to start preparing towards that. Industry trends, you want to make a bit of research again on that, have an idea of what is trending at the moment. These are some tips that would help you basically navigate the application process effectively. Your CV and your cover letter. I think this is a very, very key, big challenge. So what we're going to be doing is we take a look at this, right? And then on the next page, I'll show us some pictures, and I want us to be able to spot what each one represents, okay? So first one is CV, second one is research the company, networking, online presence, You see, I'm mentioning networking a lot because it's really works for me. Application, deadlines and details, strong elevator speech, achievements, skills, follow-up, and remaining positive. Okay, so have a look at this. Can we point out which one is the CV? Which one do we think is the CV for this? Top left, okay, so we have people going on top left. Which one do we think is useful for research? The middle. Okay, so we have some research over there. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll go back to this slide. We'll talk about this and then we go to the next page and I can just compare it to it. Yeah. So CV is the first one. When I first started, this was what my CV looked like. As you can see, it's just a page, right? I just had my address on there, my name, basically just my profile, and then my skills, my achievements, and my interests, right? So it was just one page, very simple, basic. But then this was in 2017. So the date is still there. I haven't touched it since then. It was December 2017. So basically, you can start out of nothing, right? Your CV doesn't have to be the best. No, you can start building up. Today, tomorrow, you put something. Next tomorrow, you put this new thing. And it's again how you market it. Always remember, if you have done a very small project, you can expand on it. There's a lot of potential for it. It's just, how do you want to present it as? Is it, oh, I just worked with 5 people to create a robot, or I was involved in a project that involved collaboration with 5 different team members where we built an AI robotic car with the use of this tech. You know, however you present it will matter a lot. So after that, I started building up on the CV, right? And this is my CV at the moment. So now it's gone up to 2 pages, right? So again, I'm learning, I'm adding a lot of things on here. I'm going through projects, I'm putting them on there. So if you want a copy or sample of it, I'm happy to share it for you to, you know, be able to work towards building your own CV. Second on the list is research the company. There's a lot of ways to research about a company. You're interested in Microsoft. How do you get details or information about Microsoft? I think these are the best researching tools that are currently available. So there's Google, there's YouTube, and there's ChatGPT. Who knows about ChatGPT? Yeah, I think everyone needs to know about it. If you do not know about it, go and find out about it after now. Yeah, these are amazing tools for research. Anything you want to know, literally anything, and it saves you a lot of time. So you want to research. Well, for me personally, I don't believe in paying for information. Don't get me wrong. It's very doable, it's possible, but then I think I can find everything I need on YouTube. You can learn how to code from A to Z on YouTube, and it's free. It's called free Cam Code. If you want to, you can have a look at it. Literally, YouTube will show you how to invest every single bit you need on there, and it's free. But then again, some of the courses are important, you can pay for them. But I'm saying personally, I would rather use these tools to make research. After that, networking, again, you can network in so many different places. It can be church, it can be football events, it can be at a dinner, at a party. Just, you know, be open, right? Don't be that person that you come into the room and you're just at the edge, like you're literally just not trying to smile with anyone. It's not bad to say hi, get to know a few people, you know, get in contact with them, just network. Online presence, you need to be actively online. It's good for you to see what's going on. I think Twitter has a lot of what's going on in the world. It gives a lot of updates on that. Then application deadlines. So most of the time you find out that towards September, October, there's a lot of closings in terms of summer internships. So that means if you want internship for next year, you have to start planning now. Applying September, October, have the interview by January, and then the summer interview is ready. It's not end of June, you start applying and you're expecting to start in August. It wouldn't work that way, right? So you have to check for when the deadlines are and the details. Strong elevator speech. Now, this is one that is a very tricky one. This is how you introduce yourself, how you kick off. how you capture the interest of whoever you're speaking to. So for example, now I come in, I'm a general manager at Amazon, right? And I say I'm willing to give the job to one person. But then I'll give you each 1 minute to introduce yourself and say something about yourself. Who thinks they will get that job immediately? Okay, so that's where this comes in, right? Who said that will? Anyone? No, I want the confidence. I'd love to hear an example from you, right? Before I give you one. So imagine I come in now. I'm a general manager, Amazon or Jaguar or Mercedes-Benz, and I say I want to give the job to one person in here. Well, I'll give you only 60 seconds to tell me about yourself. Yeah, anyone wants to try? Okay, I'll give you an example. So that's the strong elevator speech, right? That's how you sell yourself in the first 60 seconds you have. So some people can say, oh, hi, my name is this, and I am this years old. I currently live with my family, and I'm studying this. I might not, or whoever is coming in might not really be interested in those things about yourself. But then if you start with saying, okay, I graduated with this, and I have a passion in AI and robotics, and then throughout my academic year, I've experienced a lot of skills in terms of problem solving, verbal and written communication. My experience includes, I worked here, and then you need to be the person that would. It's like, when you go to a store and you buy a raffle ticket, and there's like 50 million other people that buy it. That's like how applying for a job is, because everyone is looking for that best job. So it's not just you. So you can't just pitch in anything and expect to have the best, right? You have to actually work on yourself to put in the best. Next on the list again is your achievements. So you have to talk about your achievements. So if you've been in any events for your school, if it's a sports event where you led the team to win, you have to talk about that, right? So for example, you worked in KFC, and between the months you worked, they paid you a lot, KFC made a lot more money than they usually would. You have to speak about that. Customer satisfaction, you could say, oh, one time I was working in Corey's PC World, and while I was there, I sold something to a customer. And since then, the customer comes back to Corey's PC every single month, and he finds me anytime he comes back. That's brilliant customer experience, right? That means that customer must have received some kind of experience from you, satisfaction that's making them come back. And then they bring their neighbor, their cousin, their granddad, and then everyone is coming to Corey's PC because of you. So if you have done that, that is outstanding. It should be on your CV. It's not something to be shy about. Your CV is basically sell yourself. So you need to put in your best efforts in there. Next on the list again, we have this your soft skills, tech skills. What skills do you have? These are very easy things. Skills, communication skills, they're all very, very there. Insisting on, some kind of high standards, quality, things like that. Then following up, you need to follow up. If you meet somebody that is, in a super level, don't expect that person to be chasing you around, right? You need to follow up. You need to do the follow-up. So yes, you've met the general manager from Mercedes-Benz, but you're not following up with them. You just collected their number and that's it. So what happens now? You're waiting for them to ask you for your CV. No. So you need to do that follow-up, right? Hi, what's going on? What's the updates? Just asking questions and all of that. Again, the last on the list is staying positive. Very important. Your mindset. I keep repeating that. You need to stay positive. You need to be ready to fail and start again. So before I got some of my roles, I applied like 50 jobs every day. It was at that point of getting frustrated. You just wake up and the first thing you see on your email is, unfortunately, we would not progress, or sorry, or you don't even hear from them, right? So some jobs that I've applied, I'm still receiving, unfortunately, now. So just be ready for that. Don't apply for 10 jobs and say they're not accepting me. Okay. You're not the only one applying. There's 10 million people that are better than you applying. Yeah, they are. So it's just the honest truth, right? We have to
face these things and actually work towards building ourselves. So those challenges will come. Don't think it will be easy. Don't think it's something that you just wake up and you one day get it. There's a lot of stories behind, what went through or what happened during that particular job. Where again, when you tell your success stories, people are like, oh, that's amazing, that's good. But then there's a lot that went through that, right? The effort, the time. What supports can you get? So for those of us that are currently in colleges or university, there's a lot of support available. So I know in my university, they used to do something called a CV review. Basically, they used to review our CVs. So before you apply for a job, you could basically book for a CV review. What happens is you get a lady or one of the agents, they sit down with you and they basically review your CV. So they help you assess it and see if it's good to send across. Then seminars and events, these are very beautiful things that you should attend as much as possible if you can. So seminars, uni events where you see people put up posters and stand there to discuss something. Just go and speak to them. Even if you're not interested, just say, oh, what's this about? They'll tell you this is, even if they particularly don't have that support for you, it might give you an idea that will open many other doors, right? Mentoring, there should be someone you're looking up to, right? It could be someone from church, it could be someone that is a family friend, it could be somebody that is from school. So have someone that you're looking up to. Okay, so there's this person, he's doing it. He can do it, then I can do it. There's nothing stopping me in that, right? So you need that mentoring spirit, that mind. Career fairs, again, very important. It's like an event organized by colleges or universities. They have a lot of, I would say, companies come around and just talk about themselves. Make sure you attend events like that. It's good to party once in a while. Well, career events are also very good for you. Job emails, sign up for emails. If they have opportunities, they would email you directly. Student groups. So join student groups. It can be a football team, and then you go and play against another university. And then while you're there, you get some information from there, right? So again, you have to be open-minded, very important. For those of us that wrote down what we want to become, is anyone happy to share with us what they want to become? Anyone that wrote anything down that they would like to share? Yeah. What did you write on your, what's the name, please?
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. Okay. What did you write and why did you write that?
Software engineering.
Software engineering. Why did you write software engineering?
I've liked computer research like a long time, and I also like doing coding as well.
Okay.
People sketches and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And you're currently at uni or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So that's what you're studying, I'm guessing.
Computer science and music.
Oh, okay. So based on this, are you still happy to carry on with that particular choice you've made?
Yeah.
Amazing. Good. That means you're on the right track, right? That means you're interested in that. Not only are you just interested in that, it's something that you've been doing from childhood and you're currently into it. Any other person? I'd like to hear, what did you write? What's the name? Yeah.
Benson.
Sorry?
Benson.
Benson. What did you write?
Police officer.
Police officer. Amazing. Beautiful. Why did you write that?
So like happens.
That's a good one.
Right.
Very good one. So how can you start up with that? What's your idea? Do you have any plans?
Not yet.
Okay. I think one way to go around it is you just said you like helping people, right? You like seeing that people are safe. You like seeing that people, have the right support they need. So you can start as doing something as little for your community and you get that recognition. And when you apply for police officer, they'll be like, okay, what have you done to show that you actually like helping people? Be like, okay, I led my football team and there was this player that was underperforming. And every day after training, I stayed behind an extra 1 hour to train him. That's helping people, right? And then if you apply as that, that's amazing. It builds you up. What have you written? Hi. What's the name, please? The lady next to you. What's the name? Nana. What did you write, please?
We're something to do with that.
with arts. Why did you write down?
People, design.
Amazing. Cool. Okay. Do you have an Instagram page? Do you have a YouTube channel? You can start off with that, right? So you don't have to wait till you finish school 10 years later. You're probably already too late. You want or you're interested in designs, you're good at it. Start an Instagram page. Even if you have 4 followers now, I think there's like at least 30 people here, 50 people. If they all follow your page, that's 50 people followers. If each one of them bring their friends, that's 100 people. So again, post those designs, show them off, show that you're actually a goal getter, you're interested in achieving something. Who else wants to share? We can take 2 more, I think. Anyone? Yeah, I like your shades. What's the name? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's Godfrey.
Scotland. What did you write?
He's a therapist.
Nice. Okay. Why?
Because the money's there. I want to
Some amazing careers. You see, it's good. It's good. The money is there. Nice. And you want to help people. Amazing. Okay. What's your plan towards that? Have you started working towards that? If the money should ever drop, would you change your mind? Okay. So you see, these are things that you have to consider as well. If 10 years later, IT or nursing becomes paying more, would you want to change? So you should also be thinking of being flexible. Yeah, the money is good, but trust me, passion, the interest is outstanding. If you're in a job that you do not like because of the money, you might not last the longest. You just be, yeah, okay. My job is something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy having conversations with people. Sometimes it could be very stressful, but yeah, it's something I enjoy doing, right? And then you meet people that, yeah, how are you doing? Like, fine. Like, every day your motivation is just down, right? You don't want that. You don't want to get to a job that you're just tied down and you're not even able to do anything for yourself. Yeah, so just make sure that it's also part of your interest. I'll take one more. Speak a lady now. Okay. Yes. You've been nominated. We can have both of you. It doesn't matter. Yeah, both of you.
Project management.
Project management. Nice. Why?
I like working with people and I like being.
Okay. So I studied part of my modules at uni was project management. It was my best course. I loved it. I don't know if it was the lecturer or it was what I was learning, but I loved it. There was a lot of there's something called Gantt charts in project management. So it's a chart that would show you the steps you need to take and the time at which you need to achieve each and every one. So it might be something you want to be looking into. Project management is amazing. It pays crazy money. So it's a good one. Hi, what about you?
I picked 2 options. It's either dentistry or acting.
Nice. Okay. Why?
Because I've enjoyed acting ever since my kids and it's something I enjoy doing. And dentistry, there's a lot of money there, and I enjoy that a lot.
Oh, amazing. That's good. So you see a lot of beautiful careers, or you have to start working towards that. And if you're written something down that you now look into and you're like, am I sure I want this? Just look into it, review it. It's not too late. You can still change and make plans. And hopefully you get the best out of it. Yeah. I don't know if anyone have any questions. Okay, if you have any questions, I did leave my LinkedIn on here. If you just search me up, Musa Chris Paper, I'll come up on LinkedIn. You can feel free to reach out if you have or need any support in general. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah.
So you know about placements during university, like,
Yes.
so like say if I wanted to go to do like an IT placement for like Mercedes-Benz or Jaguar, yeah, how would that approach it?
So placements now. So I think this is one key, like I think I'd say support you can get. So in terms of placements, normally the advice is when you're applying for your course, you apply for that with it. Because it's a lot difficult to get it if not. I know nursing students usually get it like it's part of their course, but then, for example, you're an engineering background, it's a lot difficult to take a year gap, go for that placement and come back to engineering. But if you apply for it, starting with your course, so there's some courses in engineering that if you apply and you see electronics and computer engineering with placements here, right? So those are like the best ways to actually get it. However, if you've already started uni and you're looking into that, then what you want to do is, first of all, open a LinkedIn account. Are you following Mercedes-Benz on LinkedIn?
No,
Follow them.
I've seen the adverts like last year.
Amazing. You pick that up, you take it to, I would say, any of your, which one would I go? You can take that to, not really here, maybe the careers fair at your uni. What uni are you at?
Yeah, university.
What?
Key university.
Okay, Keele University. I'm sure they have like a student support center.
Yeah.
Head over there. Okay, I'm looking to apply for this. Do you have any links? Because most of these universities actually do have links. You just don't know about them. And they can say, okay, yeah, we have a link, or the opening is from next year, 2024. And these are the kind of students they need. So you need a particular scoring to get into that bracket. So you have to make a bit of research from now. Build up the CV, have a review at it, try and see if they have any seminars or events. So they will also put that on their LinkedIn profiles or their Twitter. Will be in London for social events. Tickets, you need to buy, probably just buy one, go there, have a chat with them in person. So you need to basically follow up on it, right? CV, university center supports, LinkedIn, checking Mercedes-Benz itself. What placement do they have? What's available? I have a friend that works there. If you want, I could link you up with.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Nothing at all. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a question. I just wanted to contribute something.
Okay, nice.
First of all, I'm very glad to be here to have this to be in this meeting. Coming from where I come from, back in Ghana, most people wouldn't get this opportunity at an early age like this to learn about, the future and what's is ahead of them. Choosing a career is sometimes very difficult, because sometimes you have so many things you want to engage in, and when you're young, they tell you something, they tell you, you can be everything you want to be, right? Which is a myth. You can be anything you want to be, not everything you want to be. So it's very good that you choose one particular place that you want to go to and focus there. Because when I was growing up, I wanted to be a banker, right? So I wanted to go into finance. So I studied finance. And I was just going to the school trying to get my grades and knowing that maybe when I come out, there will be a job out there, waiting for me, which wasn't the case, right? You come out and you realize, there's no jobs. You have to have certain skills per se. So once you make that decision to where you want to go deeper into knowing what skills actually are needed for that particular thing. And before you actually make a choice, because you might even end up with a degree, get a job, and then you realize this is not what I want to do.
Yep.
Right. And that's very frustrating, because you're going to be there for the next 5 to 30 years. Right. So this is a very good opportunity for everybody that's here. I just wanted to say thank you, and what you're doing, continue doing that.
I'm happy to
Mestis, and what I could do. In 2 minutes right here, if you go on LinkedIn, you search for Mestis, the brand, HR person. Sometimes that's what you get those random messages. You send a message and you pitch, you make a pitch. You can get a response and almost immediately you can almost just be on your way. Then for those also who are acting, media-oriented, hacks, brand management, etc. Like you mentioned, also building a portfolio, building what you actually. Sorry, because I'm into film production, so I have some experience in this. Like, just put that out there. So if you have like your, I was going to introduce you. So let me just put that out there. So if you have like firstly, the fact that you're even part of this, it's like you rightly said, it's a brilliant platform. Then even for yourself also to get it shows some level of intent, which is good. The only thing I would say is okay, you should leverage it, use it, maximize it, optimize it, right? So like for example, even the networking, you don't know who is around, you don't know who you could have a conversation with, who could perhaps point you out, signpost you. So like your next, what you should do next. And lastly, if I'm as hard, I'm just trying to make, is that at this stage, understand that you can't sometimes know clearly. Don't let it be a closed door. For example, I know people who in medicine that later on they get off 20 years into their life, they get up into they became a church. So sometimes it's about trying everything. Trying it, yes, you might have it all clearly written, but leave a space for experiments also. That's what, like for example, like I don't know, it's been I also did 16 years in banking, right? So it's sometimes put those provisions, right? Experiments. You'll find good parts in those experiments, and you'll find them relevant to your hobby, your vocation, ultimately things that you want to do. So that's just my hand.
Thank you so much. I think in quotation of what he's saying is be flexible, be happy to explore, not just because you want to be an engineer. It's just that it could be something inside engineering or just to be on the outside. Right, so just be flexible, be open-minded. That's it for me. Thank you so much for listening and for your contribution.
Okay, that's really. Let's give him another round of applause. I like it. I like the way that he kind of walked through his CV and walked through some of the things that he done. And what I can gather from what I heard is that you can see a trajectory there. You cannot just get up one day and build a career. Everything kind of starts from small and then you build on top of it. Now, if you want to become, whatever you want to become, you want to be an IT person, you want to be an engineer, whatever you want to be, you got to always make sure that even when you get the least job that you're going to get, take the same attitude that you've got into that job, like you want to be a director or you want to go into IT or whatever you want to be. So in the past, let's say 6 months, in my workplace, I've seen probably about 4 different people sacked. Yeah, somebody had a conversation with somebody, they weren't happy with it, and things went on, and then the person was sacked on the same day. Another person came in, the person was an apprentice. He came in, he was given an opportunity. 3 individuals were given an opportunity from an IT company to come and work in our company. And out of the 3, 2 were sacked and 1 made it. Okay. One of the guys who was sacked came into work one morning, was told to do something. He disrespected the manager who said he should do it, and he was sacked and walked off site straight away. Okay. And then I have a 3rd person who also got told by somebody else who didn't have a direct input into their work, and they then, kind of flared up, and that person was sacked. Okay. What I want to tell you is we've had excellent gone through that session. I think it was good. And the three things I want to kind of leave with you is number one, research. Okay, so I heard some people said they want to be, somebody did say they want to get into dentistry, right?
Right. What is the average salary of a dentist? 40,000. That's not too bad. The other man who said you want to get into something because of the money, what is it that you wanted to get into? Yeah, what's the average salary for a physiotherapist?
I think it's around 25K to 30K.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. What you guys got to do, what's the average salary of an IT consultant? Who could tell me?
35K.
Ish. Okay. But the spectrum of IT is really, really large. Okay. What's the average salary of a program manager, project manager? Who said they want to get into project manager? You don't know.
Around 65K.
Yeah, 65 is good. Yeah. Right. But I know when somebody is a project manager, they grow to become something called a program manager. A program manager is somebody who looks after a number of project managers. And I've seen in the last 2 years or 3 years, I've worked with a number of project managers and they pay them £1,000 a day. Before tax, £1,000 a day. Do you know how much that is in a year? That's almost about between 150,000 to 200,000. Okay. There's a lot of money for people who are ready to work and people who are prepared to work. There's actually a difference between them. A lot of people are ready to work, but when they start the job and difficult times come, they wither, right? But people who are ready to work and prepared to work are prepared to face all the challenges that comes in their way, and they are ready to face the storm, and they are ready to win, okay? So I want to tell you, and the thing that I want to leave you is that be prepared and be ready to win. So number one, prepare and research into the thing that you want to be. Everything that you want to be, prepare and research into it. I want to ask you this thing. How many of you have changed what you wanted to become since you started thinking about what you wanted to become? Perfect. That's really good. When you were 10 years old, what did you want to become?
I wanted to become a footballer.
Excellent. And right now, what do you want to become?
Right now, I'm studying to become an architect.
Perfect. That's a really good one. Do not be afraid to change what you want to become, especially if you are around sort of like even before you drop into uni. If you're in uni, you are kind of starting to already chatter your path, right? But before you get into uni, if you've got a dream and from today you go and do a research and you find out that, Musa is is a brand manager, is a manager, I want to go into that kind of operational management, logistics and all of that. Go in and check, do a lot of research, open up, yeah? Open up your broaden yourself as to what you can become. There are a number of people that are here around me, and about 70 to 80%, when I ask them, what do you want to become? All I hear is social care. Open yourself up, okay? There is so much more out there. Get to the places that you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, get to the places that you feel uncomfortable. I tell you what, I've got a cousin of mine, and he just gone out from the military into consultant, and then he phoned me up and said to me, "Oh, he's the only one who is basically sat there at the meeting that he's having, and he's the only black person there." And I said to him, "You got to start getting comfortable with that." Okay, because the higher you're going to get, the reality of the demographic of the country that you live in, all the black people in this country and the Asians in this country, those born abroad and those born in the UK, all of us, put all of us together, we're only 13% of the whole United Kingdom. 13.
Okay, all Asians, all Black people born in the UK, born outside the UK, all put together form roughly about just 13% to about 15% of the population of the United Kingdom. So when you are going up, it's nothing racist, but prepared to be the only Black face or Asian face on the table. And that will tell you that you're doing something right. Okay. And as Musa said, if you're applying for 10 jobs and you're getting hitbacks, nah, that's not right. You go apply for 50. And I literally mean 50 in a week or probably 50 in a day. Get your CV up and write. And when you start getting them knockbacks, it tells you that you've got to improve something. Maybe your CV is not right. And that's why you need support, right? Support is the biggest thing that you can get to improve yourself. So if you need support, reach out to somebody. It might be your own mate, it might be somebody else. And again, this is not anything that is racist. You could hear what he was saying. He did say that a lot of the jobs that he's done, he didn't apply for. He used the word referral. And for some of you, you may not necessarily have understood the word referral. That means that he did not apply for a job. He didn't go onto a website to fill his name in. Somebody actually said, oh, I've got, this friend of mine. And I can tell you for a fact, more than 60% of the jobs in the UK workforce is not being advertised out there. A lot of people are getting them by referral, right? So expand and broaden your network. I can't remember the last time I did any kind of work in the past 6 or 7 years where I went in to actually apply for a job. No, everything is through my network. So make sure you're getting a network, make sure you're linking up with people, make sure you're talking up. If you think that you're going to be sat in your room and just be clicking on that computer and trying to get a job, yeah, you may get one. It doesn't mean that you're not going to, but it takes a lot of effort to do that. But just one word from a trusted person, right? If I know that you are trusted, and then basically you say to me, oh, I've got a friend who is just like me, okay, wants to work with you, I'm way more than happy to work with that person because I know who you are and I know we can trust you. Okay. So these are a few nuggets that, I would want to leave for you. When I was a child, I changed the number of what I wanted to become probably about 3 times. When I was 6, that was the first time, or probably even younger than 6, that I was asked what I wanted to be. I said I wanted to be the prime minister or the president. Yeah. And then by the time I was 8, I wanted to be an engineer, that I didn't actually know what an engineer was. All right. And then later on, I think roughly when I was about 17, I said I wanted to be an IT consultant. And eventually that's what I ended up to be. So there's nothing wrong, you changing it. But, when you make a decision, make sure you stick to it and be passionate about it. If you think that you got the brain to actually learn anything, there's absolutely nothing wrong. If you think the thing that motivates you is money, like my friend at the back, and you think you've got the head, the passion, resilience to go for it, then yeah, why not? If you think you can open the door for anything and you think, well, if I become a surgeon pays £200,000 a year, then go into medicine because you've got the head, but make sure you're going to be knuckled down to do the thing that, because them, areas that's going to pay you 200,000, they're not easy to get into. You cannot just dream. You have to work the dream, okay? You can't just dream and dream. You have to work the dream. Work it. Yeah? Every time that you're dreaming of it, work it and go through the barriers, okay? Those are a few things that I just wanted to kind of leave with you. But Musa said it all. I sat there, I really kind of enjoyed everything that was coming. And I learned a few things as well. I really learned a few things. So I like the bit that, you talked about how you pitch yourself. How do you refer to that?
So you mean like the elevator pitch, right?
Yeah, the elevator pitches. Absolutely. I like it. I really like it. How do you sell yourself? You got to know how to sell yourself. So obviously, I have enjoyed everything, and I hope you have enjoyed it as well. So Let me tell you one more secret about myself. So when I finished my degree, my BSc, and I did my MSc, I went through the placement system as well. Microsoft came into my uni and they were doing placement, and Microsoft sponsored the course. So we had a lot of companies come across and they say, well, we want some individuals to come and work for us. And I had to get through one of those. I remember I had an interview with probably about 3, and I was successful with one. So you want to be able to make sure when the opportunity comes, put yourself out there. Just because it's a placement doesn't mean that when you go in there, it's only a placement, I'm leaving. When I went into that placement, I put every physical bit of me into it. And by the time I finished the placement, I had my first job offer. And it was 25K. After I worked it for maybe just about 2 years, I had my brand new BMW car. That was my first car. I had it before I was even 30. It wasn't my first car. It was my first new car that I drove from rubber. How many of you know what rubber is? Tear rubber. That's what it is. So basically, from the warehouse, all right, I got the car and I was the first person to drive it from 1 mile. One mile. And that was just because I did excellent at my placement and they decided to take me. So don't take placement or any opportunity as a joke. Any opportunity that you get, apply yourself to it. If you are good and if you are reliable and you are consistent, irrespective of what it is, whether it's at church, whether it's our, trust me, 100%, you're going to take that into your workplace and people are going to recognize that. And when they recognize it, you're sorted, right? Everything sorted. So that's my little thing. I'm going to leave with you. I don't know if anybody's got any other questions. Yes, no, no, go in. Okay, so we'll leave it to Byron. Right.
All right, so I think there should be more questions because we are not ready to leave yet. I haven't heard from some people. I don't want to start mentioning them. Okay, so 2 reasons. I haven't heard from some people, and then there's something small we've organized for us to network a little bit. I wouldn't call myself as somebody who knows how to network, but I know the power of networking. So I can get into a situation, an environment, and I will be the last person who is interacting with anybody. But my strategy is to locate the people who I think would be helpful for me. It may be good, it may be bad. Okay? Like Musa was suggesting, always have to make new contacts, and that is how it networks. Okay. Some of us probably God has given us another able to get to the people we want to. So, and some of them are from divine arrangements. For instance, I can tell a story about any of the people here who have contributed today. How God connected us. Okay. Kofi, I met through my elder brother. When you are introduced, it is for you to build that introduction into the next one. Okay, so when Kofi was introduced, so what? What do you do with that introduction? Here we are today. We started an organization. And we are all benefiting. Okay. Musa is virtually my manager. I'm not joking. Musa, how old are you? 24. Okay.
24.
I like to emphasize on that. Okay. Because you should not limit yourself. And it's possible that by the age of 21, by the age of 19, you could be managing a group of people, and you have to start now. don't take it for granted at all. For some of us, we come from a background where even our homes may be an impediment for us because we can't see beyond what the environments that have been created in the home for us. We have to move beyond that. So when you see people like Musa, it should tell you the possibilities that are available for you. Okay. I don't like speaking in public. Kofi knows it very well. When we organize events, I'm the last person who comes for it and speak. But it is important to develop such a skill. So it's not like I don't want to, I'm not learning how to do it. Anytime there's a session, I'm learning quietly. Like I'm networking quietly. Again, I'll mention the sitting here. Was introduced by Dr. Tosin, right? How did I meet Dr. Tosin? From Amazon again, a colleague that I work with. Joined as SSCIC, and then Dr. Tosin was introduced. So it's a chain. Any kind of relationship that you build, it builds you a chain of people that will come to support you. All right. Don't undermine your ability at all. It is possible. I met Papa through Jenny, and we are working on some things. I'm sure God will make some miracles out of this relationship because we have to build anybody around us. Okay. So I'm talking too much. I usually don't like talking like that. You have a question? Somebody is coming. I hope it's the food. I hope it's the food. Sorry, so the food. It's not the food. Yeah, so any questions? Any questions? We have to be here till the food comes. So it will be good for sealing of silence. When we hadn't started the program. How active they were. See how active they were. All of you were chatty and all that. Once we started, then everybody closed.
Okay. Can I ask you guys, a few people to do something for us? Yeah. So, we obviously want to take testimonials. So I just want a few people to be able to spend 1 minute. And to look into that camera and tell us what they've gone from the session. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Just 1 minute. How many of you can do that? Just 1 minute. How many of you can do 1 minute? TikTok time. Literally 1 minute. TikTok time. Yeah, you're just saying it. You're just saying it. You know, be confident. Come on.
I think
I have
something to say.
All right. So yeah, if you can
talk about
if you can just focus on him.
What you talked about. It's kind of a motivation to those of you here. Back in Ghana, I wanted to travel and just continue my education. You know, I had to do research because I wasn't having that kind of financial capability to enroll myself in school abroad. So I delved into school that can sponsor my education, and you'll be surprised. One of the places I want to study was in the US. So I had to go one by one, all the states, all the universities in each state, to check the requirements, whether I qualify for them or not, whether they have funds for me to apply. Okay. But you wouldn't believe that there are even more than 300 universities in the US. Just imagine if even a state has about 50 universities or 25. So I had to do with this research, and hopefully it paid off. At the end, I had a school who was ready to sponsor my education and also give me a job as a teaching assistant. You know, I didn't just sit idle, and I didn't know that it was the first stage or the last stage or the middle stage that I was going to get, but I had to do it. When you want to put your mind on something, it's about determination, resilience. If you just want to sit down and have it, you're not going to get it. But if you want to put your mind on it and determine that you want to achieve it, even though I wasn't able to at the end enroll in the school because of a kind of problems that went with my visa, but at the end it taught me something. I knew that I put myself through it, I delved in the research, and at the end I was able to get it. So one of the things that I'll tell you is, as my colleague here said, you need to research whatever that you want to do. You can get some of the information from the research that you're going to do. Is sometimes when you just want to network, the people that you talk to, they want to know whether you have idea about the thing that you're talking about. Is this person serious? How can you just come to me and tell me you want to dive in finance, in accounting, and you don't know what it means? You don't know anything about it. So it's all about research. So I'll just end it here. And thank you.
Yeah, who's next?
I need, Michael, come on.
Yeah,
Come
Michael,
on,
come on. Come on.
What do you feel like?
Yeah. Wherever you got from the session.
You got from the session. Yeah.
So, I like a lot. Do stuff different. And how to plan properly. Within my field. And I've learned a lot of this. I'm sure like it will be more than I learned. Does not say something?
I don't have any disagreement. I can contribute.
Okay.
I had a chance to go for a conference. Studying cybersecurity, right? I went to.
Yeah, you stand there so
the camera can see.
Yeah, so I went to a conference. For cybersecurity. That was more for education. So I went to Scotland for this. So I drove 7 hours.
Wow. That's passion.
That's passion.
And to be fair, I was skeptical because it was just educational. So they wanted to deliver something that could prevent, scams and all that, all those security things. But it was more for teachers, and I went there anyways. I wanted to, educate myself and then hear what they can provide for me. And then, there was sections where there was some time for, networking. So I had the chance to talk to some people. And then, literally working. If you in uni and then you have this opportunity to go for conferences, go for them because it's really worth it. And so I met a guy and
after he found out where I was coming from. So like, hey, wow, you came all the way here. I was like, yeah. And he asked me, what's my LinkedIn? I was like, LinkedIn. I don't remember the last time I went in. I was like, what, you don't really go into LinkedIn. That's really bad for you. I was like, I was feeling really bad. I was like, but I wasn't, because that was LinkedIn is actually it's not just social media. That is where jobs.
It's a professional network.
Yeah, networking and all the referrals going on there. And then I was like, wow, I mean, now I have to, edit everything, and I need to add all my skills. Literally, I did it the next day. And then, this guy added me, and then I saw a lot of networks. I was like, wow, I could have been in some places right now if I on LinkedIn. So yeah, guys, I suggest you to do like LinkedIn is very, very powerful social platform. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Let me check with you though. Let me check. How many of you have got LinkedIn accounts? LinkedIn accounts. How many of you have got LinkedIn accounts? Subscribe to LinkedIn. But let me tell you something. When you go to LinkedIn, are you listening to me? Yeah. When you go to LinkedIn, don't put social media stuff. Like LinkedIn is not a place for people posting like crazy stuff, because obviously how it is. Like they say, the internet doesn't forget, right? So LinkedIn is a professional network. So when you go in there and you want to put in your a profile on there, your LinkedIn should be saying something which is very close to what's on your CV. Do you hear me, guys? Yeah. This is that, the LinkedIn is not a place that you go into post. It's not like a show off, or that's not where you're going to link, your mate and, this is where you've been now, man. That's not LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional network. So you want to go in there and describe yourself like somebody who is putting themselves out there to get a job, right? And at your stage, if you're going to go to LinkedIn, if you're not, sort of in uni or plus, and you're not looking for a job, but you're just about transitioning from school, you're 15, 16, you want to say that you are someone who's got passion. You've got passion to learn. You're looking for opportunities to experience what you want to become. You're looking for someone who can give you a placement opportunity, that you can, do or have an opportunity to work through there during your school days, etc. That is the sort of thing that you need to be putting into LinkedIn right now. If you're not at uni level, right? Or you've just gone into uni, you want a placement, describe yourself that way and put it on there. It's not about, just going in there and linking your mate. Go in and look for professionals in your area. If you want to be a doctor, go into LinkedIn and look for doctors in Coventry. Don't go looking for doctors who are in the United States. What are they going to do for you? Right? They're going to support you. They can link you to somebody, yes, in Coventry, etc. But look for people, do proper research. People in Coventry that you can physically identify. Go to them, LinkedIn, say, look, I live in Coventry. I want to be a doctor. Right? But I'm only in uni. Is there a chance I can meet you and see what the opportunities are for me to come into the university hospital and do some days? That is the sort of thing you want to be saying at LinkedIn, right? So I want to encourage you, go in there, don't put too much information. If you're not ready, don't create it. But if you're ready and you're looking, go out to LinkedIn and create a profile and put your professional status on there. It's professional status. So nothing about just your personal stuff, professional, what you want to become, and start creating, networks with people in LinkedIn who can help you. All right. Nice. Okay, we're going to end the video now. So unless anyone is going anything to say.